Welcome back to Starladder Season 8, guys. The winter bracket finals are well underway. I'm LD, he's Merlidi, and Ben, it's time for Game 2. The draft is underway, so we should hop into it momentarily. Alliance versus Sigma. Alliance looking very strong.
Draft is going to be important. Let's get right to it.
Let's hop into the draft. It's a very interesting one to start things off. We talked about Wisp being something that if Sigma don't want to play against it, they're going to have to ban it because Alliance is not going to. They didn't ban it, and Alliance said, you know what, we're going to showcase our versatility here. We're going to pick it up. But Sigma have gotten two of the premier supports in the game, Alchemist and Visage.
That's a scary, scary duo. Alliance going with the very same bans as last game, Bane and Invoker.
Yeah, and the Pugna eats the ban as well. Once again, something they don't want to give away to Sigma. And truth be told, I mean, the Pugna, like Pugna plus anything that could push is really strong, and they have the Visage, so it makes sense. The Enchantress actually got banned from Sigma. And generally for Alliance, they do like to run a jungling support in combination with the Wisp so that the Wisp can just get as fast to level 6 as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So do they go Chen here instead? Is that too passive?
I think it depends on what kind of other cores they want to run to. If it's a hero that requires a lot of babysit, like a Gyrocopter, then perhaps not something that greedy.
Ooh, Slark from Alliance. He's had mixed results. I think the hero's 1 and 3 for the tournament. Had the one great game from Fata. The rest, not good.
Mm-hmm. He's so-so.
What's he going to be laning against? That's always the big question with Slark, I feel like. Does he get a lane where he can snowball off of it?
Yeah, that's true. That he needs to be put in a position to shine. I've seen teams offlane him. He's like okay at offlane, but I think he does much better.
had one really good game, but that was like right when the hero got reintroduced to competitive play, and I think it just caught teams off guard.
Right.
Maybe he gets a 1v1 matchup, but Alliance, we've been seeing in general a lot of dual lanes from teams, so he may not get a 1v1, unless he goes mid. Does S4 play? I guess it would be an S4 hero. I haven't seen Bulldog play it.
I have not seen S4 play Slark.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see.
I also didn't see him play Timber.
Is he a good partner for Wisp? I've never... I mean, I guess the Slark can go ganking, and then the Wisp shows up with a relocate, but...
Yeah,
who are they going to like actually combo with the Wisp in the lane?
We'll see. Alliance's draft is more unusual compared to other teams.
And not Chen. So they like to go Chen when they have Wisp, along with Enchantress, but Enchantress ban, they go Chen instead.
I think the curious pick on the side of Sigma is Nyx. Are they going to do a solo mid Nyx, or are they going to do a support Nyx with the Alchemist farm?
That is not a fun lane against the Slark if your 1v1 is Nyx.
That would not be fun at all. I think most melee heroes have not an easy time.
Yeah, not against Slark, but we'll see. Maybe Timbersaw probably would do pretty well, but obviously he's on the same team, and it could be, I guess it could be a farming Alk, although I've never seen that from Sigma. It's always been support, so it does make me think either a solo mid or, I mean, maybe an off-lane Nyx, but that seems less likely.
Pos was kind of the one that introduced the support Alchemist.
Support Alk for Mouse? Yeah, that was almost a year ago, and this was like, or was it a year ago? Maybe it was like 6 or 9 months ago, but it was a while back, and this was before he was really popular. And at the time when he was picked, he was always as a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Very unusual to see him as support back then.
They like to pair him with Shadow Demon a lot, but doubt we'll be seeing one this game.
Yeah. Shadow Demon just has fallen off, unfortunately, but he's often a fairly passive support, so can't say I'm too upset about that.
I think that Sigma needs to draft something, a higher impact hero than Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight's annoying, but I don't see him like Fata doesn't really shine on those kind of heroes. He shines on more like tempo controller and playmakers, and Dragon Knight's not a huge playmaker.
Yeah. What playmakers are left then is the question. OD's been banned.
Puck,
Invoker's been banned.
Puck, I think, is really good here. They don't have any stuns for him.
Gives him, yeah. Actually, what do Alliance have 0 stuns? They drafted light on stuns in game 1.
They could have gone with a Storm too.
What will they round this draft out with? Is it gonna be someone that has a stun? Is it going to be like is there any chance we see a Tiny here? Tiny Wisp?
We could.
You know, Alliance doesn't normally draft, like if it's Fnatic, it's like you know they're going to pick the combo, but Alliance will just pick Wisp and not necessarily have like a specific combo in mind.
Right. They're kind of like Na'Vi too.
Yeah. Like, oh, Wisp would be good here, but we'll see what it pairs with later.
So Nyx Assassin could also be in the solo offlane. I've seen that done before. But Sigma looks like they're actually banning out a solo mid. So they don't think S4 heroes has been picked yet.
Which would mean probably Loda onto the Slark. And
yeah, Loda, Slark.
Could be a Timbersaw mid as well, so we could be waiting for Bulldog's hero, but Prophet's been banned. And there's not usually many offlaners left in the 10th pick of the draft. And
Bounty Hunter is good for Admiral Bulldog, but it's not good in this lineup, I don't think.
Doesn't help you fight. And they're going to have... Sigma is a very strong clashing lineup. And they did go for the puck that you mentioned, so their team fight's really scary.
Wisp, Slark, and Bounty Hunter would be way too greedy. TA is something that has not been used very often, but I think TA is still an extremely strong hero, especially in this matchup.
You know, the one thing I really like about this draft from Alliance is that they got the Timbersaw early, because we were both wondering, is it solo mid or is it off lane? And Alliance kind of were able to keep their cards tight, so they're close to their vest, because you don't know where that Timbersaw is going to go necessarily.
Well, I'm a big advocate of the flex picks first. I think Timbersaw and Alchemist are probably two of the most flexible heroes.
Like if Alliance went puck early, that's going mid for S4. But this way they can go bust out something like a TA and maybe catch Sigma off guard. How do you think TA does here?
TA does very well versus puck. Not terribly great versus Alchemist, because you can't dodge a stun, and the acid spray will take off a lot of instances of refraction. But aside from that, he'll definitely do well in the lane.
Yeah, if they give him the 1v1, you just get bullied as puck. That is not a fun matchup. But it's time to hop into game 2 momentarily. Whose draft do you like better, Ben? If you had to put your money on a team for this one, which one would it be? I
think Sigma's... I think it's even draft, so I have to give it to Alliance, because if Alliance is even draft, they should have the upper hand.
Yeah, Sigma, they do have a lot of heroes that can just take over a game and control the tempo, but it's time, guys. We're about to hop into the game now. Game 2. The players have selected their heroes. They're heading to the lanes. Here we go. On the Dire side, I'll let you do Alliance this time. I will do Sigma. On the Radiant side, we have Team Sigma, the Western European mix, you could call them. And, boy, they've really looked good coming into this match. They did drop game 1, but I believe in them. I think they can bounce back and take it and force the game 3. We've got Fucky Mad playing the Alchemist, Miguel handling the Nyx Assassin. That does put Fata onto the puck, as well as Pos handling the Visage. So we'll see the Fata puck, something that he's well known for, as well as Sakshka on the Mirana. He doesn't have the Bane, but Mirana last pick, I think it's a very well-rounded choice for them.
They have a ton of stun luck for Alliance's lineup.
It's funny, last game they had like 1 stun. In this game they have like mass stuns.
And on the side of Alliance, we have Loda on the safe lane Slark. We have EGM hovering around mid on the Wisp, also known as EO. S4 on the solo mid Templar Assassin with a nifty set. Admiral Bulldog on the offlane Timbersaw. Aki already warded bottom. Not really sure where they're going to start, but on his infamous Chen.
Yes, the Chen. We saw it once yesterday. Didn't take over the game like Akai's Chen often has in the past, but there's an opportunity for him to shine here. They'll again go with the dual lane. Sigma, the one team that just loves to run these more than anybody, is that off-lane dual lane. And they'll do it with a Visage Mirana. So no Lich to keep the lane back this time. But still a very strong dual lane. Hard to kill the Mirana. And a lot of burst damage here as well. And actually they will tri-lane, it looks like. Fucky Mad heading top.
Yep, he has a smoke on him too in case they want to rotate early onto S4. Checking if Paz has any sentries or dust. No, they actually don't. So looks like they will probably not be rotating mid, because it's extremely difficult to kill a TA once he has meld, and you don't have any reveal.
Yeah, at least initially we won't see it. Maybe they'll send some sentries or dust up later, but they could be going for a first blood here. Alliance already retreating. They send something's up. Would have been the first blood if they'd stuck around like 1 second longer. But in the end, it amounts to nothing. Good just game sense from Alliance there.
Yep, he sees Bucky Mad. He's actually out alone.
And they might go back in now, but Loda not the easiest hero to kill. Although he doesn't have Dark Pact yet, so at level 1 could be more killable.
Aki has a Centaur right now creeping the Ogre camp. There is a Troll that just spawns in case he wants to help the lane out. Pos getting a little bit of harass on Loda, but not that much damage with the Tingo already healing him up, and a Stout Shield to boot.
So for this tri-lane, do you think Sigma's going to be able to get much done here? Will they be able to find kills?
I don't think so, because if Slark sees a stun coming, he can simply just Dark Pact it and pounce away, so he's in a favorable position. If EGM gets caught out, he'll die, but EGM, he got caught out in the Silencer game a fair amount, but last game as Abaddon, he was rarely in a bad position. There's a stun. Channeling.
Top lane, they're channeling it now. Do they have vision for EGM? Yes, they do, because of the lane ward, I believe. Hits him, but there's no follow-up. And Loda looks like he's trying to body block the arrow there, so no opportunity to go in. Good just protecting of the support there from him.
Yeah,
and now Chen's coming.
I'm not exactly sure how they have vision.
I thought they had like a... No, but the ward's actually over in the jungle. Now another stun on Loda. This one's going to connect, but there's a tether. Soul Assumption, not enough to bring him down. They're threatening, but they just can't quite do enough damage to get a kill. Now Effing Mad taking a lot. Man, those skeletons really hurt Alk. That one base armor, not doing much for him.
Yeah, those skeletons do a lot of damage.
So in the 2 solo lanes, we haven't looked at them yet. Hopefully I don't miss a kill in doing so, but Nyx versus Timbersaw. Oh, top lane. I was going to miss a kill in doing so. Loda dropping low. Almost died again. They just can't quite kill him. It's the tether keeping him alive.
Yep, they don't have a flask, though.
The 2 solo lanes seem fairly even so far. In fact, Puck is winning mid versus TA.
Yeah, that's a very difficult matchup for Puck to win, too. But Fada's Puck is one of the best in the world.
Sakshika diving way past the tower. Even used Leap offensively. And now they'll wrap around, but they don't have the best creeps to actually kill him. Man, Fata is playing an amazing game to be up this much CS on Puck already.
I saw some redirection of the creep, too. For some reason, the creep wave was down here, and S4 had a tank at tower.
Okay, so maybe that's why he missed a few last hits. And the Nyx is actually doing pretty well considering it's up against Timbersaw. Bulldog went Quelling Blade.
Yeah, it's decent in a melee-on-melee matchup when you have, like, no fear of dying.
Oh, they may smoke. They're going to smoke right now at the tower. They've not been spotted here. Do they go for Ake for the first blood attempt? They don't have dust, so they can't really go towards mid like you mentioned.
Loda.
Oh, they're going to make the move. Wrapping around. Oh, if Loda could be in trouble, but they decide to head to the right. They want to hunt the Wisp or the Chen. And once again, it's not going to work.
Yeah, they're just not finding any luck.
They're like 0 for 4 of these kill attempts, just not going their way.
Yeah, Alliance has been doing a really good job of just being very elusive, too.
Yeah, the Chen has been forced to support the tri-lane a bit, but now he finds a Wildkin. He can start stacking if he wants to.
Look how many trees have been cut down in this area, too. Like, Bucky Mad was sitting over here, but that's like 10 trees, and no one has a Quelling Blade. So
10 tangos have been used this day.
Deforestation.
They're going to channel yet another stun, and once again, they're not going to find... Oh, this is... He's going to have to go base. He's out of regen. In fact, they all are pretty low on regen.
Aki rotating mid.
He's been all over the place, hasn't he? S4 finds a regen rune bottom. Up to 14 and 7. Still Fata, though, stubbornly hiding onto that CS lead. Generally, this is the time where it gets really hard if you're the Puck. Once the Templar Assassin hits level 5.
Especially when he gets a regen in a bottle.
Yeah, he can just spam Refraction on cooldown.
Yeah. Admiral Bulldog completely out of mana on bottom lane. Miggle going with the bottle instead of the early arcane boots. Trying to pressure Admiral Bulldog a little, but you cannot. You can't really kill Admiral Bulldog as a Nyx assassin. He actually went to 1-3-1 build, which is slightly unusual.
On the Timbersaw, you mean?
On the Timbersaw, yeah.
Yeah, melee versus melee, you often see more points in Whirling Death as well.
I guess he's not versus a strength hero, so he's not going to be using it as often.
That's true.
But yeah, it still does a lot of damage, especially for a hero like Alchemist.
So, do we see Miguel move soon? Do they roll, like, put one of the tri-lane heroes on?
He needs arcane boots. It's going to take him so long to go anywhere. He has to walk all the way home, then he has to regen all his mana, and then he has to TP the lane with Vendetta, and then after that he has to go back home again. Generally, we see Nyx's move as soon as they get their arcane boots, but with the bottle, it's going to be extremely delayed. I'm not really sure why he used all his mana to try and harass him down, because it would be much more efficient for him to just TP and Vendetta. And if he's out of sight for like 10 seconds...
Oh, they might have finally found Loda here. No, gets off the Dark Pack. The arrow's going to fly, but he has time to dodge. Really,
nice play.
You know, it seems like it's really hard to actually out-stun him without him getting Dark Packed off, because it travels for so long when he's running from you. But maybe if they can use a Moonlight Shadow to set it up once Sakshika hits level 6. Meanwhile, middle lane, it's a chase for the top rune, and both heroes running the wrong way. It actually spawns bottom, and this is nice for Miguel. He really needed that regen.
Yeah, he has a DD too, so he's actually going to pop it right now. He's still trying to harass out Admiral Bulldog, though, and being Mana Bird. Admiral Bulldog does not have a magic stick, actually.
Even with a DD rune, not going to be able to kill him. It can harass him a lot here. Does have 2 bottle charges. No, top lane, though, they go in. Oh, only caught the Marauder hitting the deck, but does go down. And now they're on the run. In fact, they might lose more here. Loda diving. He's got a Dark packed up. Brains Effie Mad low, but he whiffs on the leap. That's going to save him for now. Now the Dream Coil comes. They turn around on Loda. Will Effie Mad die to this neutral? Yes, he will. The hero creep brings him down. And Loda's going to perish. So that's a 1-for-1 in the end there. Or no, sorry.
2 for 1.
2 for 1. 2 for 1.
Yep.
1-for-1 at the end.
And they managed to get first blood, and that was on EO. EO barely making it out alive there. And yeah, Slark missed the pounce there.
Ake hero setter tormentor bailing them out for that dive. Would not have been a good trade if they'd lost Loda just for a support.
Definitely not.
But instead they come out on top, and Good early rotation from Fada, reacting at the right time. So nicely done by him. And he is farming well, Ben, which means a pretty early blink. So I feel like Fada will have more ability to control this game. Like last time he went mech on Dragon Knight, and like he couldn't start the fights because they would just always see him coming.
Yeah, he's just annoying, but doesn't actually do that much in the fight. And
with a blink of puck,
as a Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
And as a blink puck, he can do so much damage, especially being able to kill the Wisp early and being able to kill the Chen or silence him so that he can't save people with a send back and or heal. It's going to be very strong.
So Sigma did abandon the tri-lane. They're just like parking the Visage Tomp for now. They rotate the Mirana down. Seems they want to prioritize getting level 6 on her, get the Moonlight Shadow, as well as get the Nyx involved. Like you said, has Arcane Boots. Time for him to start moving. He'll start by checking this bottom rune.
Yep. They can kill S4 if he has Refraction down, but they have a Sentry Ward in mid too, actually. So S4, he's not going to get jumped on.
Oh, the pings come out. Oh, sorry, that was from you. I thought that was from one of the players. I was like, how did they know?
And looks like Pos trying to absorb some experience on top. He's very close to level 6, checking EGM status. Probably the most important hero for level 6 in this game, or as far as the sports go. Just hit level 5.
So for Sigma,
they see Miguel. Oh. It's very obvious for them. He's actually Invis, though, and not Vendetta.
Yeah. So he still has Vendetta to go on top if he wants to. But is he going to find anybody? Oh, he's already planted another sentry. They're laying a trap for him.
They need Loda there.
Oh my god, this is going to be a brilliant trap. This is going to be amazing. Miguel is going to be so freaking sad now if they can kill him, but I don't think they have the damage. Maybe with the rotation from S4? No.
He still has Vendetta, too.
Oh, maybe they're going to die for this, actually. But now he pops the Vendetta, and he'll be okay. Still, though, that was a pretty awesome trap from Alliance.
Space created.
Oh, they might go on bottom here. No, not going to.
They really needed Loda there, but if he had gone there, maybe the plan would have been revealed. So, Oh, no, not too bad. Chen.
Who do you think's winning now? Farm seems quite even overall.
I think if Alliance can avoid ganks for a little bit, get like one big item up on Slark and Templar Assassin, they can fight much more effectively than Sigma. But at the same time, if Fada gets his blink early, which he's going to get in about 500 gold, then it's going to be Sigma's favor. So I think if Sigma takes control with the blink, then they'll win out. If they play passively, on top lane.
Potts with a miracle TP out. They dove him deep. Old Wisp, that's a kill with the tether stun, but Alliance, as we mentioned, light on stuns, and it's actually Sigma's turn to punish that with some TPs out to safety.
Yep, S4 has...
Oh no, S4's in trouble. Silenced out. No Dream Coil dropped yet. I guess they were worried he would get Refraction up. But it wasn't cooldown for 2 seconds. I think they could have gotten that kill. Wisp is not 6 yet either.
Well, he had a nice trap over here to slow down the Nyx, so it was very difficult for them to catch him with them.
They could have Dream Coiled and gone for it, but they just, I guess, decided to play it safe. And actually, I do want to point out that we don't see a level 6 Moonlight Shadow from Sakshka. Very surprising. I guess we'll wait until level 8 at this point.
That spell is incredibly good. I don't think it should ever be skipped at 6.
Yeah, I mean, if you go for the 2 points an arrow, though I guess the one concern is you hit level 7, you don't have max on your Starfall, but Star Storm, I should say. But that's where maybe you just get the 1 point.
Right. With the extra 100 bonus damage to it, too, it's not imperative that you have level 2 at this point in the game.
Fast blink. 11 minutes. He skips treads, which really accelerates the blink timing. This is going to be a big item.
They don't have any lockdown for him either. He's just going to be able to do whatever he wants.
Can you orb out of the tether from the Slark?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they really don't have lockdown for him. I guess they can run him down potentially.
They have damage.
Yeah, they have damage to kill him if he ever wastes his blink. And already, Alliance, right as they go to check Roche, but the orb has just come in. They think it's safe, and in fact, they're
it might get revealed by Fada. Oh, no, it's going for bottom. Wow, that was so unfortunate timing.
He sent the orb in, and it was like right as S4 arrived, smoked in the pit. And now they're going to be like, okay, we checked Roche. They won't do it for like the next minute or two, and it's going to go down. This is brutally unlucky for Sigma. Just purely unlucky. What else can you say?
Yeah, and S4 actually had the ward too. If he didn't place that ward, he would have probably been doing Roshan too. So just very small things affecting the flow of the game.
And remember, they do have 2 extra heroes available if there is a fight here.
They know that they're doing Roach right now. Roach is about 1,000.
There's a relocate here. Are they going to go for the Roach? In come the familiars. In comes the Puck as well. Low. Who's going to take the Aegis? S4 trying desperately. He grabs it. He gets the last hit as well. And now they're fighting against 2 Templar Assassins. Can they take him down? They do quickly assassinate the Wisp upon arrival. Now Loda's joining the fight, trying to find somebody to lock onto. Can't find anyone. It's a Wisp and a Chen down for an Aegis. Not the best, I mean, not a bad trade for Lions, but not a great one either. Pretty good reactions from Sigma.
Yeah, very good. And they bursted down EO so quickly there, too. With the Vendetta and the Acid Spray on him, he just dropped from like 60%, even after the Chen heal.
S4 with the Aegis online. Miguel may come in, try and bring this down. They've got familiars here. They'll remove Refraction. They can stun once and twice again, but S4 tries to juke it. Here comes your tether.
They want to creep.
Oh. He actually did tether creep, but S4's still gonna live.
S4 needs a mobility item. He can't just like run up to people.
He bought Blink, he sold it, he bought it, and he sold it again. And now he'll buy it, and I think he'll keep it this time. Maybe he's debating if he should go Blink this game.
He can't just walk up to Nyx. Nyx will just Carapace. Puck will just phase or blink or orb away. Potom will just sleep, so he needs some sort of initiation or just move speed on him. Blink's okay. A lot of times you just get hit by Acid Spray.
Yeah, Acid Spray is pretty tough there. And I mean, even familiars as well can just run in and focus you. You can already see the Refraction. He loses 2 charges in like a matter of a second. Alk really strong against TA in general.
Yep, he does have really low armor, so if he actually gets on Bucky Mad will die. But as of right now...
Oh yeah, like 1v1, this TA is still going to butcher the Alchemist, but it's more in the team fights where you really struggle.
Yeah, they can kill him very fast. Slark needs to be able to latch on to people too, though. Looks like he's going to be rushing a BKB. There's a smoke from behind.
They said they want to control the tempo, play aggressive, don't let Alliance play their game, force them to play Sigma's game, and they're going to do that right now. Diving the tier 1 bottom. This looks like it should be a kill.
EGM's positioning is
He's ready to relocate out, though. Can they bring Bulldog down in time? This is going to be a very fast dive. No chance. EGM runs out right into an Impale. They're actually going to lose, too. Oh, no. Great reactions from Sigma there. And just EGM coming out at the wrong time.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he popped out there.
He could have just hidden and hoped that Sigma didn't come find you. But with familiars, they might have scouted him anyway. Maybe he figured he was just dead if he stayed.
Very nice smoke from Sigma.
I love just the fact that they're making moves around the map. Like when they had Lich Venom supports, they can't really do that much like this. They just kind of sit and farm and, you know, you try to win a passive game. But these supports are active supports that can set up kills. Really seems like it's a better fit for Sigma's playstyle.
The Wisp doesn't actually be seeming to do that much too. They relocated in for the Roshan fight, but still didn't take that very effective, convincingly. Bottom couldn't save the Timbersaw at all either.
So S4's gone Blink. Looks like Loda is going for Heaven's House, or sorry, Sanjin Yasha perhaps here. He's maybe a BKB.
I think BKB. There's too many stuns for him to deal with. All 5 of those heroes can stun him.
Normally the nice thing with Slark is because of Dark Pact, stuns don't bother you that much, but when there's this many stuns, like there's always going to be one there, even after you use it, it feels. So, BKB perhaps in the making.
Alliance with a slight gold lead right now. Tower count is 101, about 2,000 gold there, but Sigma definitely has a momentum advantage going for them coming off of that smoke gang.
If this turns into a farm war, like who do you favor there?
I'd say Sigma. Just because they can't lock down Puck. So if Puck gets a sheep, he's just going to be incredibly difficult to deal with. And they just can't really burst anyone down that quickly. And they have so much stun on the side of Sigma that if they get caught out once before they pop their BKBs or before they can blink away or use a Refraction or use Dark Pact, they're just going to die very, very quickly.
They set up near mid on S4, but they're not actually going to go on him here. Not with the Aegis and the relocate online. EGM's parked behind Bulldog, trying to secure his farm. Notice how he just sits like really far back, either in the trees or in the lane. He's not getting any gold or experience, but just wants to make sure that Bulldog won't die if they go on him. And there's a haster in bottom. Oh, Fada goes for it, and he snatches it away. A risky maneuver, but he pulls it off beautifully. Now S4 coiled up. Who do they focus here? Bulldog is the choice, but maybe it should have been S4. He does still have Aegis, but now he's going to live long enough to do a lot of damage. They bring down one. Great Impale keeps them alive. That Timber Chain was going through, but gets disrupted there. And now another Timber Chain. Farther diving on Miguel. Alk maybe could buy back for this fight. Does he have the buyback gold? No, he does not. And the fight will end just with the one casualty.
Yeah, not bad for Sigma. If TA had gotten the haste rune, I think it would have been a much different fight. So nice movement by Fada.
Do you think they should have bothered trying to fight that? Like, considering that there's always the Wisp available to join the fights, and
no, not against the Aegis
on S4.
Yeah, not against the Aegis on S4.
And they're relocating bottom right now. Run, Sakshka, run! He leaps, he TPs, and I think he's gonna live here. No stuns, no dice.
Yeah, they have no way to interrupt TPs.
I'm always a bit skeptical of drafts that don't have many stuns. Like at least like 2 or 3, I feel. But it did work out for Alliance last game, so we can't. Right. And maybe Ake gets 3.
But this game they have 0. Yeah. I guess, yeah, minus the Centaurs and barring Trolls.
Troll Traps OP. I remember there was one game where I don't even remember who's played it, but there's a jungle player who had like a hidden Dark Troll Warlord that canceled Enigma Black Hole that would have won the enemy team in the game. So late game Dark Troll Warlords, don't underestimate them.
So good versus BKB.
Yeah, they really are. And Sigma's going to push mid. They have a Yasha up on Shakshka. Sigma looking pretty good for them. Alliance just don't have the strongest 5-man lineup. It seems like they do struggle, especially once the Aegis is down. I think we're going to see a lot more 5-man Dota from Sigma.
Yeah, Slark is not farming enough to go in. Templar Assassin went and Blink, so she doesn't really have that much survivability if she chooses to initiate. And it looks like they're going for Bucky Mad on bottom. They do have a BKB on the Slark now. They're going to dive effing Mad. He's effing dead. One more right click. Easy kill. Yep, easy tower too.
The tower will fall. Sigma, they give up a kill, they give up a tower. Just good play from Alliance. Like last game, they were very strong in 5-man because of their items, and they were taking advantage of that, constantly pushing. And this game, they recognize that's not their strength, so they're just going for pickoffs, they're spreading the map, they're farming the enemy jungle. Just Alliance showing that they not only can draft differently, but they know how to play the different drafts correctly and keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, and Fada, this is much different from his DK. He's actually able to get kills when he rotates around. Looks like they're going on mid.
They'll dive now. They'll look for the kills here. Nope, everyone's going to dodge away. Alliance fine, but in comes Loda from the backside. Going deep, he's already popped the ultimate. He gets 1 kill off the bat, and now they'll retreat. Loda said he thinks Slark's a ridiculous broken hero in the pregame interviews, and well, he gets a nice kill there. 3-1-2, leading the charge here for Alliance. And they'll look for another Roche potentially, but it's not up just yet.
Fada, easy escape for him. I think late game they're going to need a Sheep on Timbersaw, I think, or either one of the supports. Probably not Wisp, because I don't think he'll be able to farm. Chen should probably aim for one in the late game. Yeah, if this goes like 40 minutes on and Sigma is even on farm on than Alliance, then I think Sigma will actually win a lot of the team fights and the ganks, just because of the stun lockdown. Yeah, that's where Alliance just has to be craftier than Sigma and outmaneuver them, use relocate to your advantage. And maybe engage in some guerrilla warfare. Maybe get a Lincoln's too. That's an option. For now, it's a Bloodstone for Admiral Bulldog. Lincoln's on Slark is pretty good, but he does already have BKB, so at least for now, it seems a bit excessive. Yeah, he seems to be doing decent amount of damage, though, anyways. He was able to kill that Visage well before his ultimate ended. But Alliance off the back, they got 1 kill, Ben, and they transitioned into a tower push. Something that we talked about earlier. Teams are not always consistent about doing that, but Alliance, keeping their eyes on the prize here. They get the 1 kill on a support Alka, and they go tower mid. Now they're going to dive on Effimat again, but he's tanky with the ultimate. Now they've stunned up S4. There's a relocate out available as well as a send back. Do they get him out in time? Do they get him out in time? No, they don't. He still goes down. They just couldn't get him out. He actually mellowed striked on the familiar too. Ooh. They were like sitting right on top. Now they're in hot pursuit, but a nice tether from EGM. Keeps them in fighting shape for now. The arrow's not going to connect, and they stem the bleeding here. Looks like it will only be 1 dead. It could have been 2, 3, or even 4, potentially, if they try to stick around. In fact, they're turning around. They want to go on Sakshka, but the Impale comes in from the sideline, and now the Wisp relocate has brought them back into the fight. Ake, well, he's in trouble, but not dead. It's actually Miguel who goes down. It's 3 dead for Sigma. They only lost the TA. Sigma chased for a very long time there. One thing about Sigma is they don't really have that much anti-BKB. Maybe if they use Medallion on Slark and then focus them down with all their physical damage, maybe they can. But with Shadow Dance, it's going to be really difficult. So Slark has like 15 seconds of uptime with his first BKB, and that's more than enough time to clean Sigma up. And Alliance, again, they get the kills, and they push immediately onto the tower, do 300, 400 damage to it. Actually, maybe more like 500 or 600. And then back off. And Roche is probably up right about now. In fact, it is.
Can Sigma even contest this?
Yeah, I think so.
Will they get there in time? That's the other question, and the answer to that is maybe. TA's not here yet, which is going to help them a lot, but S4 is making a beeline straight for the pit. Sigma have to be suspicious with 5 years currently off the map, but this Roche will drop fast. TA is very good at bringing them down.
Yeah, and they won't be low from fighting too, which is really important. S4 does have buyback. He's fairly close to his BKB. I think if he gets a Roshan kill, he'll be able to buy it, and that's going to be really important because we saw how quickly the TA fell when he blinked in, and that's one of the problems with the blink build. You just have very little survivability, even if a Wisp tethers you up.
BKB is coming soon, like you said, though, so it won't be a problem for much longer, but he's had to play more defensively throughout this game. And
they knew they were doing Roshan, but they didn't even try to contest.
And they built the fighting lineup. Like, they're the ones who drafted, you know, granted Alliance has Mech, BKB, and Bloodstone, some really big team fight, or just, like, generally useful items for the engagements, but you pick this many stuns and disables, you expect a team to want to fight. And Sigma said in their pregame interviews that they want to take the fight to Alliance. But not
S4 might actually run into them right now. Ooh, Miggle.
The Aegis went to Loda this time, actually, which means S4 in all sorts of trouble. They drop the Acid Spray. They'll chain stun him now. Loda's going to leap in. He pops BKB, but they're just going to TP out on him. Nothing they could do. They even wasted a relocate for that.
TA was so close to BKB, too. He had like 1,300 gold at that fight.
Yeah. Old BKB, he would have had it. 50 gold short, I guess.
Yeah, that nerf.
I still feel it's amazing. That's like, you know, BKB is like, it's like the opposite of Vacuum, where it keeps on getting nerfed and it's still good. It's like a Vacuum keeps on getting nerfed and not so good anymore.
BKB, imperative for him right now.
Well, we're seeing less BKBs than Chinese Dota, that's for sure here.
Yeah.
More fighting items, more damage items, more aggressive items in general. They're going to go in the tower mid. Fata will take some... Nope, phase shift dodges. Nicely done. But he might die here to Loda. Nope, silence. Still is the blink. And will they get the tower deny? They will.
Looking for the familiars, but unable to find them. And looking at the gold graph again, about 5,000 in favor of Alliance. Slight dip after S4 recently died. He's trying to farm his BKB on bottom. Miggle, though, scouting him out. They know that he's invis there.
Yeah, he's got Blink up early, or now, but they're not using it to start fights. Loda's still chasing on Sakshka. How far will he go? Enough to force TPs, perhaps.
And forcing a concoction on Bucking Mad.
You know, Slark really is like the ultimate space creator in terms of like he can be everywhere because he's so fast when you don't see him. And just really hard to lock down, so you're constant... Oh, Courier just went down. Whose Courier was that?
That was his BKB.
S4's?
Yeah.
Did the familiar snipe it?
No, Miggle sniped it over here.
Ooh, nicely done.
Yeah, so they knew he was around there, too. They saw him grab the invisibility rune on bottom. I'm surprised that he still sent it that way.
Well, that's really good for Sigma. Do Alliance have to wait 3 minutes until that BKB is up to fight?
Yeah, if they wait 3 minutes, though, the Aegis is going to expire. So that's actually a pretty important...
Pretty big loss.
Yeah, pretty important kill. Maybe they should have given the Aegis to Templar Assassin.
Yeah, I figured they would because she's... I mean, Loda's tanky, but he's not... I feel it's the TA who's going to be the primary damage dealer, but... And he's the one who has BKB. But
yeah, Loda hasn't been dying.
It's 5-1 and 2, actually. S4 0-2, but... You know, he is still farming okay, considering. In fact, he's even in terms of net worth with the highest farmers this game. Offensive Moonlight Shadow, but it's just from so far away.
Is that the first one that we see in this game?
Yes, I believe it is. Certainly the first one for an aggressive gank like this. They've been using smoke more often.
Niggle trying to scout things out.
Is there a gem up yet? Nope, no gem. They're hunting S4, but he's got back up. Bulldog's parading behind him. And Fata's just going to jump away.
Yeah, Fata is still a nuisance. Working on that sheep. He's fairly close, about 1,500 gold away. Looks like both teams pretty happy to farm Alliance. They don't really want to fight without S4's BKB, and Sigma doesn't want to fight into Alliance's Aegis. So we may see relatively passive next few minutes until Roshan respawns again.
By the way, Mirana has 4K gold. What's he saving for?
Not exactly sure. They need a little bit more damage from him, just because he's really their big source of physical damage aside from Alchemist spells.
Desolator?
Desolator would be decent, I think.
Maelstrom we see occasionally on Mirana.
Yeah, both are fine.
I guess Butterfly might be good versus a TA and a Slark. And it will be a Desolator. So kind of not a Glass Cannon build, but not completing the Manta. I guess that will be the item.
Close to a Glass Cannon build. He
Pretty
only
close,
has 900, or he has like 1,000 HP right now. No
I just sold his Bracer, which is not helping matters, unfortunately. And Alliance have some good bursts with TA and Timbersaw. He'll have to position himself very carefully.
He can't get pounced. That's the big deal in team fights.
Yeah, he can try and leap away otherwise, but with the pounce, he's not getting out. And meanwhile, on the side of Alliance, the big items are coming out soon for Loda. I have Scotty nearly complete.
Wow, he is stacked.
In fact, Alliance's 3 most farmed heroes are all atop the net worth charts.
I'm surprised that he was this farmed. I mean, he's been very active around the map, been involved in 7 of 8 of Alliance's kills, and it doesn't seem like he's been farming that much, but I guess a lot of that has to do with the Wisp pick, and Wisp just lets your carry farm wherever he wants to without fear of not being in the fight.
Ben, this may be our first long game of this Starladder LAN Finals. Every game's been pretty quick, like 30, 35 minutes or less, some of them even 20-ish minutes, but already 28 minutes in, score 8-7. Only a 4K gold lead for Alliance, maybe 4.5K. Not that much, an experience of sitting around 5K. Fairly manageable lead for Sigma to deal with at this stage.
I don't think that this TA pick is having as much impact as Alliance expected. They kind of expected him to dominate mid, but he actually got out CS pretty heavily by Puck, at least in the early phases of the game, and has not notched up a kill yet in his name, just because he's been focused down to these mass stuns.
They have found Sakshka here, and they'll maybe S4 thinking that the Murano would run into him, but not going to be the case.
Another Moonlight Shadow used, but
just to get out from that gank, I guess.
Yeah, that'll amount to anything.
Well, they're playing the farm game, and you said it's Sigma's game if they do that, or at least favors them if they do that. But Alliance are still, they do still have a lot of room to grow here. So both teams getting a lot off the map, and just slow, patient play.
Yep, Niggle constantly scouting everywhere. I'm surprised Alliance hasn't picked up a gem yet. I guess they don't have a good carrier for it, but it would be pretty good. Also, even if they see the Nyx, they can't really like burst them down instantly unless he gets pounced by Slark.
Both teams just, oh man, that's a big one. Fata has quietly farmed his way up to a Hex. As in fact the most farmed hero on his team. This could be the game changer for Sigma. It really could be.
That may just be the jump that they need on the Slark too. He has 2,000 HP though, so not squishy by any means.
Yeah, 2,000 HP and the Wisp and Chen backing him up.
I'm surprised he didn't go Shadow Blade. I think he could have picked off a lot of the support as well as Nyx Assassin a lot if he had it.
They do dive a bit on Sakshka, force him off the tower, and they'll just work on it now. They've got the Desolator, or sorry, not the Desolator, just the right click of the TA. And the tower's dropping pretty fast. Meanwhile, top lane, they are maybe looking to make a go on Bulldog. Not committing just yet. No deny from the familiars. Alliance do find a tier 2. There is no trade for Sigma as of yet, but Miguel comes in. They want to go Bulldog. Unfortunately, the backup's coming in, but with the Hex on Fata, I think they might get this kill. No, maybe not. He's too tanky. Now the backup, the real backup has arrived for Alliance. And Fata forced to turn tail and run. He's got a blink available here. Needs to blink into the trees and the TP out, and he will do so. But Alliance get a tower, and they get a kill on a fairly important core hero, the Nyx. And in the end, they come out a bit ahead.
Admiral Bulldog is huge, though. 1,700 HP, 3,000 gold. Oh,
and is he building a Scythe here?
He should. They need it badly.
If they get a Scythe and Aki has triple Centaurs, then he can just walk in and chain stun somebody with those. Potentially. That would be really scary. Now the Hex comes out. They're going to look to lock down Loda here. They burst him fast. The mech, though, keeps him in fighting condition. He's forced to run and leap away. Well, it shows you the power of that Hex.
Yeah, very nice job by EGM.
They nearly killed him. If they had the Puck there, or sorry, not the Nyx there, they would have killed him with the extra stun, I believe.
Right. They need 4 steps, I think, on Alliance too, to get people out of the mass Sunlock. Aki, not really sure what he's going for after that mech.
EGM is actually going BKB, so just going. Granted, with all the stuns in Sigma, it's not surprising, but it does mean they don't have a 4-step. Normally, he would be the first one to build it, but like you said, I guess it's got to be Ake at this point.
Yeah, I think they could also use some more armor too, like maybe a Vlad's pickup on the Chen. The +5 armor helps a ton, especially versus Desolator and the Unstable Concoction. It starts to stack up.
Yeah, and the Desolator Unstable Concoction, the Visage Familiars, and the Medallion as well. It's physically they have a lot of damage.
Slark doesn't have that much armor. I looked at him like a couple minutes ago. He only had like 4 armor. Now he has 9 with the agility from Scotty. He might need a butterfly this game. I think it'll give him a ton of survivability. But we saw how quickly he got focused on once he has sheep, and it's really difficult to dark pack the sheep too.
The other option is, yeah, because it's an instant disable, and Puck blinks in, so you don't have much time to react there. Kind of have to see him running at you before he blinks. The other option is maybe something like an Assault Caress, which will help them break base. If they want to go for that, they could get like a Desolator on the TA, but we'll have to wait and see.
Crowd is cheering. Not really sure what for. Looks like S4 doesn't actually have a trap in the Roshan pit, so they won't actually know when it's going to respawn. But it looks like
this is like the longest possible duration for Roshan to respawn.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate for Alliance, though. They've had pretty good map control, too, and they have the BKB, and Slark's really strong as soon as he picked up his Scotty.
And it looks like he's probably going Basher. So that's another way to get locked down for your team. So they'll go for the Basher on him, and maybe later the Hex on Bulldog. Although Bulldog's pretty close to it.
Rana, I think, needs a Manta, though, too, because they have a lot of single target damage on their carries. The TA and the Slark both all single target damage, so if he can just split out as soon as he gets Meld Strike, he can just do a lot of return damage.
You can also remove a lot of these. You can remove that Trap Slow as well, so we'll have to see. And now Loda. Now Loda gets psyched up bottom lane. They're going to go in on him. This could be very bad. Vendetta Strike's there as well, but he's not dead yet. In fact, he turns around and look at that poor little Puck just explode. Wow. Boy, he just popped like a pinata there.
Yeah, and they lost a gem.
That's a big death.
Yeah, I thought that Fido would be like nearly invulnerable for most of the stages of the game, at least until they get a sheep.
Well, he is when he's not running in, but what? Oh no, he could have gone for the tower deny, or the tower last hit, but instead just TP's out, and this will be yet another tower denied by the Alliance.
Roshan is up now too. Looks like Pod's going to TP out, and they're all huddled around the Roshan pit. This is very bad, especially with Fido down, and even if he buys back, there's no way he can get there in time.
And the Familiar's getting sniped now. Roshan will fall most likely to the Alliance in a matter of like 20 seconds, maybe a bit less here, as Loda leaps in. And he's up to 2,400 gold, so he does also like Sanjin Yasha. Something, normally if you're going to get it first on Slark, but Basher probably the choice here, and they'll try and go for the Aegis. Will the Familiars be able to snipe it? No, they will not.
Oh, this time it's going to S4 too, because they think Loda is unkillable. He has 2,100 HP.
Did they snipe the cheese? No. Poor Familiar.
Who ended up picking it up? Oh, it's on EO.
Yeah, on the Wisp. Oh man. Tether cheese, pretty strong.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember if I've ever actually seen that in a pro game.
I think I've seen it one time.
I've seen the cheese get passed to a carry before, but I don't know if I've ever seen a tether cheese.
So checking Admiral Bulldog's size status, looks like he has 3,300 gold too, so he is very close. I think once that happens for Alliance, Sigma is going to be in a lot of trouble because Fido won't be able to farm up a Linken's or BKB anytime soon, and he's just going to die. And they have a lot of farm on him. He's number 5 on net worth, just behind the Mirana.
Yeah, in terms of net worth, Alliance just stubbornly holding on to theirs, and in fact increasing the lead in a lot of cases. Now, what was once a 5k gold lead, nearly a 7.5k gold lead. Experience tipping their way as well. The Scythe is online, and not quite as good as a Blink Scythe from Puck, but Timber Chain into Scythe still pretty damn strong initiation
They're
range. Smoking
right as soon as they get it to EGM and Loda, waiting to be tethered in. EGM is not actually at full HP, though. He has his BKB complete.
He's going back to base to try and get some HP before this fight breaks out.
Oh, Bucky mad. If he gets caught out here, Sheeps, he's just going to flop.
Yeah, this Alk might not be long for this world. They'll come in, look to go on him. And now a Timber Chain into a Sheep, into an S4 jump, and boy, look at him melt. Barely gets a ping off and then dies.
That was fast.
They're going to find more here, too. Perhaps. Nah, just the Familiars. Yep, 2 Familiars going to... Nope, they're not going to go for them, even though they're not going to... They can't be resummoned.
They want something big.
They are.
They want to push really quickly. Oh, man. Yeah, those birds take a lot of damage. They have a good 30 seconds to push. Glyph just used, so about 20 seconds to try and get some damage on the T3.
And Acid Spray is really important for Sigma defending their high ground as well. And they're not going to have it here. And they go. There's a Blink Scythe from Fada. Then the Impale follow-up. but it just tickles S4. I would like to see Sakshika in a lane right now, not just farming the jungle. At least try and put some pressure on top.
Yeah, I guess he could be somewhat scared of the relocate gank, especially since they have the Skull Basher right now. But I still don't think he's going to be caught.
Oh, maybe, just maybe he will be. Still pushing out that top lane, but for now, Alliance, they split up a bit. They have 2 bottom. The relocate site is online if they want to go for it, but they're not just yet. Now Miguel, he'll be the target of choice here. Instantly assassinated. That's a quick, simple kill. Do they go for more? Bulldog wants to go in, but the rest of the team content to back off. So the BKBs get used. They do get the first kill on the Nyx, but now with no BKBs and no sight, they could turn around potentially. In comes the Chakram. Bulldog just bullying everyone out of the fight. S4 cleaning up one to start it off. And will he go down here? He's still got the Aegis. He'll pop once. Now, remember, there's a tether. The cheese was already used by EGM, but BKBs, and now just focusing the racks. Now going back to heroes. Little indecisive, settles for Fata, who now tries to blink out. Not going to get away. Can't escape from that one. He'll go down. The racks will fall. Alliance take 1. They're looking for more. They're trying to overwhelm Sigma right in their own backyard. Can they do it? That's the big question here. They want to run now. But can they get out? Is there a relocate out available? No, there's not. They lose 1. That's the TA. Do they lose more here? EGM can tether. He'll look to do it. Nope, not going to get out. He'll go down here. And now the chase continues. 2 down for the price of a Rax and a Visage dead as well as a Mirana death and buyback. And a Puck death and buybacks. They actually used 2 buybacks there. Not a great trade.
Admiral Bulldog's all there by himself.
And Bulldog will end up going down. So in the end, make it a 3 for 3, but Sigma lose a melee Rex and forced to use 2 buybacks. So in the end, definitely a win for Alliance here.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Alliance is getting further and further ahead right now. Puck, no buyback. He needs another item, though. He just dies so darn quickly.
What do you buy here?
You either get a Shiva's, I think, is probably the best choice because they have a lot of minus armor, and a lot of it is from the Blink TA burst. You can also go a Lincoln's, so you don't get sheep. They don't really have anything that can take that down either.
Well, Sigma maybe feeling a little bit of pressure now. This is a game that they need to win if they don't want to get knocked down, and Navi's waiting. Not an opponent you generally want to face.
Miguel's smoke got popped, but he was invis. Maybe he didn't even notice, but he was right by the Chen.
Well, he might have noticed now, but now it's too late. They go on Bulldog instead. He does get psyched up. There's a Puck available. No relocate, actually. Bulldog focused, isolated, dropped low, but not dead just yet. Finally goes down. He commits suicide, pops the Bloodstone. They don't get the kill. Can they cancel a TP here? Where's the bash? Where's the bash? He had the Abyssal. He already had used it, but Fata may be the one who pays. He's on the run. He has a phase shift. Blake cooling down. Running. Now pops the phase shift. Tries to escape. Can't escape. Oh, that brings him down.
Yeah, and now Fata's dead for 80 seconds. That's all the time in the world that Alliance needs. And yeah, they got Timbersaw again, but that's not the best target.
No buyback on the Puck here.
Yeah, he had Bloodstone. I mean, he died once last time. It was like a 5-second respawn. He died again, about a 20-second respawn, and he has BOT, so he's right back in the fight. I think going for a smoking was good, but not on Admiral Bulldog. He had way too many charges at that point.
And he's already back in business, like you said. Boots of Travel's into the lane, and now it's going to go. Meanwhile, they jump in. They look to unload here. They're trying to focus the Mirana, and she goes down. Also does not have buyback, just bought a quarterstaff. Well, Mirana's now dead. Pos dropping quickly as well. Alliance just swarming through Sigma's front door and into the base. And actually, the Mirana didn't have buyback on cooldown anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But regardless, they're just getting completely decimated at this point. And Alliance, this might well be 2 lanes of Rax. And with that, perhaps GG coming any minute. Now another Impale onto Loda. Loda still alive. Alliance probably should just go for the Mega Creeps here. Or back off. Not diving the fountain would be an easier recipe for winning the game.
I mean, 50 seconds dead on Potom too. They don't have any physical damage to deal with him. I think Sigma didn't really capitalize on the mid-game enough. They just let Bulldog farm his sheep up and just get billions and billions of Bloodstone charges.
Oh no, and Miguel just going down. That's a team wipe for Alliance, and that will prompt a GG! Sigma get 2-0'd. It's been a tournament of 2-0s, Ben. We have yet to see a team take it to a game 3.
This one was much closer than the first game, though.
This was our closest game of the tournament, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, it did end up being Alliance's game for Sigma, and Sigma, they now will play Navi in the loser bracket finals. That match will be our first match tomorrow. I believe we also have the 1v1 tournament, our 2 semifinals and our grand final after that match, and then the main event grand finals And Alliance just punched their ticket to the grand final, so they're guaranteed a top 2 finish here at Starladder.
You said they had something to prove, and they just stormed straight to the
They
grand
made it
final.
look easy. They definitely
really did.
They looked the most solid in their first 4 games of any of the teams here. Na'Vi dropped that series 2-0, but I mean, mostly it felt like the drafting seems like they improved it. There's a potential for a Na'Vi versus Alliance rematch in the grand finals. And now we have an interview with Loda.
First question will be yesterday Sigma played very confident. Did Sigma play worse today, or you're just so strong?
I think they just had a bad day.
Okay, and which team do you want to face tomorrow at the grand final?
Well, I kind of want to face Sigma, most because I think that they deserve to be in the finals. But I wouldn't be too surprised if Na'Vi would be there, because it's Kiev and they have the crowd, and it's very annoying to play against them here. So, I'm not sure.
Okay, and any last words?
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors, XMG, Racer, to begin with, HyperX, Racer, Monster, and XMG. Also a shout out to Kelly, who's in San Francisco, working for us, doing merchandise and stuff like that. And shout out to my useless Slark. I didn't do well on it, I think, but it's quite stupid, so...
Ну что ж, Лод сказал, что это сегодня...
Well, Loda just feeling very confident.
He was madder. He said they were having a bad day.
You know, Loda's, like, even at MLG, I think they asked him, Clutch was asking him, like, do you want to, you know, anything to say to your opponents? And it was, like, the nicest thing ever. And then someone came back and was talking trash at him. But he's just not comfortable. He's not comfortable being mean.
They're trying to, like, incite him to say something. But
like, come on. Give us something to chew on. But
calm and collected.
Definitely never in the interviews. If you follow his Twitter, he'll sometimes say some loaded things. But Alliance cruising to the grand finals. Do you think they're the head-on favorites to win?
Yeah, I think so. Their drafting is really strong, and they played really well all game. I didn't really see that many weaknesses in their play. I think in day 1 they had weaknesses in the laning phase against Fnatic, but in day 2 they seemed to clean that up, and they didn't really have holes in their draft either. So, and that's better than I can say about the other teams.
If you were to play against Alliance, we know they'll be in the tournament till the finals. What is the key to beating this team right now? What's like jumping out at you? Because they showed a couple of different strategies the past few days.
I'm not exactly sure. I thought the key before was shutting down S4, but in the Rasa game, he got shut down really hard, but he still did a lot of work. Maybe it might be due to Rasa, but that was the closest game they were to losing. So I think the key is to shut down S4, make sure he doesn't get hit huge. His Timber Assault in game 1, ridiculously strong, and in this game, they kind of shut him down, but he still got a lot of farm. He wasn't able to get that many kills, but he was able to do Roshan a lot too, which was crucial. They got 3 Aegises and a cheese, and with a Wisp cheese too, that's pretty much 3 lives on any hero.
I do want to give a lot of credit to Fata, because he actually won a very difficult matchup.
Right.
Puck versus TA, very hard to LS at the Puck, but it just didn't matter after the laning stage. It seems like for Alliance, the laning stage is less important than any other team.
It is, but it's also because they... Is
that just because of how they draft, or do you think it's like their play style that
I think it's their play style. Like, they play pretty greedily. Like, Aki, we didn't really see. He, like, did... he got 1 kill on top, and then after that, we didn't really see him in the lane. So Aki plays really greedily. Same with the CM2. He let Admiral Bulldog die twice before he came to the lane, and he still gets a lot of farm. And at the same time, S4, even if he has bad time, they go immediately to Roshan. Same with the Rasa game and this TA game. When he starts off 0-1, 0-2, they go to Roshan, and then they immediately get back from the game from there. So I think the key is to shut down S4 and prevent them from getting Roshan. That's pretty much what Fnatic tried to do, but they just didn't execute quite as well as they could have.
Yeah, I think that Fnatic game 1 right before the Roche fight, that looked like the closest the team was to beating them in this tournament. Sigma, it didn't seem like they were close in this game, but it always felt like when it came to like the crucial decisions, Alliance were the ones controlling the tempo, making the better decisions.
Right, and Alliance has actually had really good movements around the map too.
That's been like their best quality of this tournament so far.
Yeah, before I was watching their games, and sometimes they would just get dominated because they didn't move from their lanes, but it seems like they've really picked up in that aspect of their game.
So, look, we've talked a lot about Alliance. We won't see them until the grand finals tomorrow. But tomorrow we have Na'Vi versus Sigma, the rematch. And now this is interesting because Sigma 2-0 Na'Vi, I think we felt that a lot of it came down to the draft.
Right.
If Na'Vi drafts better, can Sigma still beat them?
I don't think so, personally. I think that a lot of it had to do with just straight up outdraft, just mass team fight, mass push, and they just didn't have a good solution versus it. And they drafted very, very well versus Fnatic today, so I think they are
banning Pugna, a good start when you see that DK or Veno.
They're getting a better read on their opponents. I still think that Sigma has the potential to outdraft Na'Vi, though, so I think that Na'Vi's going to win if it's even draft, but I still think Sigma can outdraft them. They did in 2 games yesterday. Why not tomorrow?
I guess it'll depend what Puppy feels like picking tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see for that, but for Sigma, in the pregame interview, Fucky Mad said he much prefers playing against Alliance because it's easy to draft against them. I guess they're more predictable for the most part. You generally know what they're going to do. I don't know if he completely had a handle on them these games. Like, when that Timbercell first pick came out in Game 2, might have thought it was going mid. I mean, you don't know at that point.
I think Navi's more unpredictable than Alliance, but I still think both of those teams are very unpredictable.
Yeah.
And NoTail was saying that it's extremely difficult to draft against Alliance, especially when they have first pick. And I think it's really difficult. Yeah, the Timbersaw pick, we saw him play by Admiral Bulldog, S4, both equally effective. And they run Wisp sometimes they don't. They run Nature's Prophet, they didn't today.
Right.
They just have a lot of things. And Na'Vi, they like first pick Invoker and other stuff too. So, I mean, they're unpredictable.
Closing thoughts, anything that you want to see, Na'Vi versus Sigma, maybe a Dendi Pudge, this Fada Invoker that's been getting banned.
I want to see that Invoker.
Jesus. 4 bans in a row.
Yeah.
And it's the only team that Invoker's getting banned against every game, so... I mean, Dendi's got a good Invoker too, right? But not seeing it. Hani's got a good one as well, but never saw it get banned.
I want to see Fada's Invoker. I think that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to tomorrow, at least in the Sigma Na'Vi game. What about yourself?
Pudge would always be nice. I don't think we'll see it, but sometimes like Na'Vi is probably one of the best team at like fan service. Like they definitely pick heroes that like the fans want to see, even if it's maybe not the best choice for like safely.
Invoker is always the best choice.
Well, Invoker, yeah, but Pudge not always. But
That's
they make
true.
it work.
Yeah.
So
there was a loud cheer from the crowd as soon as they picked Invoker.
Absolutely. Well, with that note, we're going to call tonight, I guess. But tomorrow we come back, guys. We've got our loser bracket finals. Na'Vi versus Sigma will be the first match. We start earlier tomorrow. I believe it's 1 p.m. CET, but we'll double-check and let you know in the stream chat. You can follow myself, twitter.com/LDDota, as well as Merlini here, twitter.com/MerliniDota. We'll be sure to update you guys on the exact schedule. With that being said, after that, we have the 1v1 tournament. Only one professional player still in it. Made it through, actually. The amateurs have been dominating, so it may not be many well-known names, but the Ukrainian amateurs doing work, and then, of course, the grand finals after that. Well, guys, a lot to look forward to. Thank you for joining us here on Starladder TV's English channel. We're Beyond the Summit, and for now, we're signing off.
For the first time ever in the 8th season of Legendary Starladder, viewers will be able to increase the Dota 2 prize pool on their own. The base prize pool is $50,000. Each ticket bought through the Dota 2 store will add $2.50 to the tournament prize pool. Support your favorite team and help the development Starladder Star Series. Every ticket owner gets an exclusive Weaver set.